Alright, how's it going, everybody? Today, I'm going to be talking about how the inner part of Aries, how other people see Aries, the outer part, and the evolution of Aries. Alright, so how you see yourself is, hold on. One of the things that you like is you like to be in charge, and you really don't like taking orders from anybody else, because you feel that your way is the right and the only way. You want to be in control, you have a drive to succeed, you have a lot of energy to make sure that success is done. You also have a lot of energy in the inside where you constantly worry about how you're going to do everything, handle everything. You don't like to be bored. You thrive on seeking different things, adventure, meeting new people. You are a doer. You have to be doing something. You have to be occupied, because sitting still is just not you. Patience is also not on your side. You don't have very much of it. You believe in taking action, and if no one's going to make a decision, you'll step in and make that decision. Especially when it comes to like one of the best instances that I especially love Aries is they're not afraid to stand up for people. If you've known them for a while, maybe not even a while, if they just feel like somebody's being picked on, and it's especially like somebody who's taller and shorter, and then you're going to immediately step in and be like, pick on somebody your own size. You're generous and enthusiastic. You do suffer from self-doubt, but you need to realize that you can accomplish anything. The way other people perceive you, they perceive you as an upbeat, magnetic personality that pulls people in. They envy that you take up challenges, and most of the time that you succeed, because I don't know if you know the philosophy, or the saying, but Virgil definitely comes into mind when I think of Aries. I'm drawing a blank on that quote. The future is for the bold. Yes. So you know that by taking action, you're creating the future. And that's, the person who sits still and quiet, yeah, they have time to think and create a plan. But sometimes situations you just have to do. And that's where you come in. You take the action, you're the bold one. You seem to always have an answer. You're admired for your honesty. They don't like your bossiness and your mouth when you're angry. And they are afraid to argue with you because you cut right through, right into the issue instead of dancing around it. Alright, now into something different. Okay, so when Aries is asleep, the beginning stages of Aries, you're very selfish, antisocial, and animalistic. Your ego is dominant. It fights the battles, claims the victories, because you feel a lot like everything's against you. You feel like the world is out to get you, maybe in some ways. But you have like a me versus them kind of mentality. And you often create conflicts where no conflict needs to be created. You can suffocate yourself behind this false identity of your ego, and you're very egotistical in these stages. It imprisons you, it pushes you down, and you try to budge your way through any obstacle, and you find out that it's just creating too much conflict, and you find yourself, you may win situations, but you may lose family, friends, money, or there's something you lose when you try to gain something with your ego. You're negative and destructive at times, especially when it comes to the inner you. And you try to control others through words and actions. You can also be shy, awkward, and reluctant to expose yourself to the world. Childhood experiences may have programmed you to feel vulnerable to attack and control from authority figures of your environment. You try to protect yourself from the vulnerability when you discover it, and you are suspicious and you lack self-confidence. You attempt to put up barriers to kind of like isolate people from certain parts of yourself, and it just creates more conflict in your life. Like, because of a lot of stuff that you've probably been through in the beginning of your life, because your life is fast-paced, it's moving quick, and a lot of things happen, you really need to find somebody to talk to that will just kind of sit there and listen. They don't even have to give you advice, because sometimes when you're talking to people, you'll just automatically see the answers in your head when you're talking to them, or at least I do. I'm not an Aries though, so Aries are cool, but I'm just not one. The asleep Aries may have some chronic illnesses, from withdrawing away, depression, things of that nature. You'll have little faith in yourself, even though there's a part of you inside that wants to keep pushing on. You're kind of like in this like stuck in a rock and a hard place situation, to where you're like, you just want to give up, but you can't, because you just know that you just have to push forward, and you're in this tug of war battle. And you have a tendency to cut yourself away from the people who probably care about you most, and your inner and outer lives as well. You, in this part of you, you will only let people see what you want them to see, because vulnerability means your ego is being attacked. You may be naive and unaware of your kind of like me first attitude, because it's hard to see the ego and what it does. And you have a survival of the fittest mentality, and this struggle that goes on within you exhausts and drains your energy, and you have a lot of energy. But you will be faced with a lot of experiences that will hopefully change this direction, to where you explore a different side of you. And so the beginning of your awakening, you will know your physical limits, and you'll be less prone to the extremes, and you'll stop wanting that immediate gratification and satisfaction. You'll learn to keep your energy charged instead of just using it and dispersing it in like all different directions. And you'll let yourself become more vulnerable. You'll and it's not that you're actually vulnerable, it's just that you feel vulnerable. But you'll let those barriers down, to where you'll finally start letting family and friends, and hopefully somebody who loves you, to come inside and and get to know the person who you actually are, instead of the image you want people to The actions and communications will be more consciously directed and focused instead of sporadic and impulsive. You'll be less prone to provoke fights. Probably won't get injured as much, as your mind will be more cautious, so you'll probably be less accident prone too. And you'll be there for other people too. You'll be their support, just not for yourself, but you'll be there to support others, and it won't be out of the ego attitude to where it's like, I'm gonna support you to get the gratification that you need me, type of a thing. Your anger and outrage will be more controlled, and if there is anything that has to do with it being uncontrolled, will probably be towards yourself. You might think of past situations to where you were like, oh shoot, I was stupid for doing that. I'm glad I'm a different person now. And now we are getting into the fully awaked Aries. Okay, this Aries has learned how to control your energy, when to use it, how to use it. You're not always too tired or anything like that. You've had the experience of trying to control this, what it seems to be like trying to contain a nuclear explosion inside of you. You start creating plans of action. You're more focused. You're not so ADD. You're not trying to conquer every situation. You're trying to conquer the things in life that will give you a better life. And you try to stay away from conflict and negative energies as much as you can, because you know that conflict and negative energy is going to set you down the path that you don't want to go back towards. You hate injustice, and it's just not injustice towards yourself, but you hate injustice towards others. And you'll see yourself as this noble person that would be willing to actually make a self-sacrifice. You'll still be thinking and processing all your life experiences, looking for ways in which you felt like this was a good thing, that was a bad thing, this was why it was a bad thing, and these things will help you evolve, even better. You start to find your spirituality and your faith makes you a lot stronger. And those sporadic impulses will start to disappear, and you'll really the energy that's been inside you this whole time will start to flow and start to come to the outside of you, to where when other people are around you, they will just feel this higher expression of you, and this energy will be contagious to where it will make other people start thinking differently and start becoming better people as well. And your intuitive mind will be your weapon to transform the world. And you are very intuitive, but sometimes you just go against it. You need to learn to trust your instincts, trust what your heart is saying, or your gut, however you want to put it. And then if you feel like you're either stuck in the first two stages, and you want to start to transitioning to that awakening Aries, which is, it's a really great leader personality. It can be. I mean, we're talking about business world, politicians, anything to where the leader position needs to be, even where church, whatever. You have the ability to transform and awaken people very, very intensely too. But look to Libra, because that is your opposite sign. And the things that you should learn from Libra is balance, so that you don't spend all your energy. Compromise, so you don't think that you're always right. Love, union, and partnership. And the main reason why you need the love, the union, and partnership is so that you start to see things from other angles, other situations. It starts to open your mind to a different reality that you haven't tried before. And you pursue it because you have the because you like to pursue different things. So, balance, compromise, love, union, partnership. Those are some of the things that you should seek. Don't do them, especially the love, the union, and the partnership. Don't do them if there's negative energy there, because that's just going to make you cause a bad breakup, and not so good. So do those things, will help find your inner peace, and you'll be transforming other people, and you'll have a bliss experience. So this is going to wrap up the, not Aries, I'm not done with Aries yet, but this is wrapping up the evolution of Aries part. My next one's going to be focusing on the energy between male and female, how they're different in Aries, especially when it comes to the love nature, and how to attract Aries is going to be Sunday. So I hope people who like astrology enjoyed this video, and I hope people who have Aries as your sun sign enjoyed this video. And happy Thanksgiving. You guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and have a good one. Peace. Bye.